headlines of this hour on VTV News. Vietnam and Laos enhance relations. And Ho Chi Minh City's public capital disbursement accelerated in late 2024. In our world news, Japanese Prime Minister prioritizes cooperation with ASEAN.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good morning. It is 8 a.m. local time in Hanoi, and you're watching VTV News Live. I'm Huyen Trân with the top stories. On Thursday, State President Leung Kuong attended an art performance program themed Spring in Border Areas Warms People's Hearts to celebrate the 95th founding anniversary of the Communist Party of Vietnam and also welcome the Lunar New Year 2025 in Ba Tân Commune in Sinh Ho District of Lai Châu Province.
This year marks the 10th anniversary of the program, which has become one of the most effective and meaningful social welfare activities of the military. It helps provide a better Tet holiday for the poor, bringing joy and a festive atmosphere to the people in the border areas. Speaking at the event, State President Leung Kuong expressed his deep impressions and emotions upon knowing that during the Lunar New Year of 2025, along with the critical mission of firmly safeguarding territorial sovereignty and maintaining security and order in border areas, border guard officers and soldiers in the locality have been closely coordinating with the provincial party committees and administrations at all levels and sectors to ensure a warm and joyful Tet celebration for people in border areas. He hailed efforts made by Lai Châu border guards for implementing many practical, effective, and humane initiatives and movements, creating a positive impact on society.
The armed forces must always play a core role, with the border guards taking on the specialized tasks. They will regularly and directly work with the border residents, continuing to strengthen unity, successfully managing and protecting the nation's sovereignty and security. The goal is to build a strong and prosperous border region, one that is peaceful, stable, friendly, cooperative, and conducive to development. Spring is the season of love, affection, and sharing, warming people's hearts and inspiring hope for better things in life. I hope and believe that Vietnamese people's tradition of unity, kindness, and compassion will continue to grow and spread more widely in the new era.
On this occasion, State President Leung Kuong and General Phan Van Giang, Minister of National Defense, presented over 400 houses worth $790,000 USD to residents in local border areas.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính met with General Secretary and President of Laos Thongloun Sisoulith on Friday morning in Vientiane, Laos. General Secretary and President of Laos Thongloun Sisoulith warmly welcomed Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính, highlighting the visit's importance as a milestone for the Intergovernmental Committee between the two nations. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính conveyed greetings and well wishes from Vietnam's top leaders, including Party General Secretary Tô Lâm, State President Leung Kuong, National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn, and permanent member of the Party Central Committee's Secretariat, Trần Cẩm Tú. During the meeting, both leaders agreed to strengthen cooperation in defense, security, culture, and education. They also focused on boosting economic ties, particularly in finance, infrastructure, transportation, energy, telecommunications, and tourism, aiming to increase bilateral trade to $5 billion. Pleased to meet Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính again, Lao National Assembly Chairman Sejongphon Phomvihanh congratulated the great and comprehensive achievements that Vietnam has achieved. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính informed about the outstanding results of the 47th meeting of the Intergovernmental Committee of the two countries, as well as Vietnam's development achievements in 2024 and Vietnam's major orientations in 2025. Moving into the future, the two sides agreed to coordinate effectively in implementing joint supervision activities to contribute to the effective implementation of the high-level agreements of the two countries in general and the cooperation agreement between the two national assemblies in particular. Now, during his visit to Laos, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính and Lao Prime Minister Son Se Siphandone attended the groundbreaking ceremony of the Laos-Vietnam Friendship Park project. The Laos-Vietnam Friendship Park project covers an area of over 30,000 meter squares and is a project of profound political, cultural, and historical significance, as well as a symbol of the great friendship, special solidarity, and comprehensive cooperation between Vietnam and Laos. The project is funded by Vietnam and is expected to be completed in 2025. And after completion, the project will become the greenest and most beautiful park in the capital of Vientiane, a place for entertainment for people and tourists, and also a place to educate about the heroic historical tradition between Vietnam and Laos. Foreign investors recorded unprecedented net selling of over $3.5 billion on the Vietnamese stock market last year. And this outflow stemmed from three main factors: the interest rate gap between US dollars and Vietnam dong, large funds redirecting capital to the higher-yielding US market, and shifting investor sentiment in frontier markets. This trend of net foreign outflows mirrors trends seen across global stock markets.
The net selling of more than $3.5 billion marks Vietnam's highest recorded outflow. However, this figure remains relatively modest compared to other global markets. Looking ahead, significant potential exists for foreign capital to return, driven by several favorable factors.
We are very optimistic about the outlook for the Vietnamese stock market in 2025, as macroeconomic factors are aligning favorably. Corporate profits on the stock market are also expected to grow by 23.2% in 2025. Based on profitability and valuation factors, we are confident that foreign capital will return.
According to experts, with the U.S. Federal Reserve expected to slow down its interest rate hikes compared to previous forecasts, large foreign capital inflows may not occur until mid-2025. Rather than the gradual inflows seen so far.
The Fed's rate cut outlook has diminished, meaning the Fed's interest rates are likely to continue rising. The pressure on exchange rates will persist for at least another 6 months. However, after 6 months, if Vietnam maintains GDP growth and the expected market upgrade happens in September, we anticipate a return of FDI and foreign indirect investment.
Currently, foreign trading volumes account for less than 10% of the total market turnover. For many seasoned foreign investors, the future of the Vietnamese stock market lies with domestic institutional investors.
The key to the market's future lies in developing domestic institutional investors, particularly through creating a network of supplementary pension funds or encouraging more life insurance companies to participate in capital markets.
According to Phie Elite Fund, strong profit growth among listed companies will drive Vietnam's stock market in the coming years. With continuing growth trends and positive profit forecasts for 2025, the fund expects Vietnam's stock market PE ratio to reach an attractive 10.1 times for long-term investments.
Now, in just 17 days from December 7th to December 24th, Ho Chi Minh City disbursed an additional 30% of its public investment capital. And this achievement is attributed to the notable performance of certain departments and districts in dispersing public investment effectively. This serves as a foundation for the city's leadership to focus on management efforts aimed at achieving a public investment disbursement rate of at least 80% for this year.
This is the construction project for the new Trieu Quang Phuc Primary School. With a total investment of over $8.2 million, the school is fully equipped with modern facilities. This is also one of the final projects completed in 2024. contributing to the increase in public investment disbursement rates for Bintan District. In 2024, Bintan District carried out 57 public investment projects, achieving a 100% disbursement rate.
From the beginning of the year, the District Party Committee assigned standing committee members to work alongside us in persuading residents to hand over land for project implementation. Practical results have shown that this coordination has been highly effective.
The collaboration between the city's project management boards and district authorities has been a highlight, enabling many projects to disburse funds at the end of last year.
In a very short period, we, along with the district authorities, submitted reports which were promptly reviewed by relevant departments. As a result, we managed to achieve a substantial disbursement within a short time frame.
Currently, Ho Chi Minh City leaders have instructed district leaders and investors to strengthen supervision and accelerate project progress. Special attention is being given to 7 key projects scheduled for disbursement, including the Xuyen Tum Canal, Ring Road 2, and Nguyen Quai Bridge, among others.
Receiving Lee Ho-wong, chairman of Charmvit Group, on Friday, Deputy Prime Minister Ho Đức-Phước highly appreciated the group's investment and business activities in recent times and welcomed the group's continued expansion and investment shift in Vietnam, specifically the investment project of the multi-purpose entertainment complex horse racing track in subzone Hanoi. Deputy Prime Minister affirmed that the Vietnamese government always creates favorable conditions for foreign enterprises to feel secure and continue to invest and do business long-term in Vietnam, with the spirit of the success of the enterprise is the success of Vietnam. The difficulties of enterprise are the difficulties of Vietnam. Coming up next on VTV News. Banks provide support for customers in biometric verification. And we'll learn about the new archaeological discoveries about Kính Thiên Main Palace. Welcome back to VTV News. Starting from January 1st, 2025, if citizens do not provide biometric data, such as fingerprints or facial recognition, their online transactions and payment will be suspended. Therefore, commercial banks have issued recommendations to remind customers to complete their biometric updates as soon as possible.
A war invalid Ngô Lâm Tới faced difficulties updating his biometric data online. Thanks to the bank employee's support, he has completed the process.
Today, the bank staff instructed me to complete the biometric verification on the app.
Tới is one of many customers who have been provided on-site assistance in the biometric update process, as commercial banks received reports and requests from customers regarding errors when they attempted to update their biometric data online.
For customers who are unable to go to the bank, we have deployed teams to their house or locations at their request. Our team will use specific devices to help customers complete the biometric authentication process.
In addition, starting from January 1st, 2025, all customers also need to verify their identification data. All procedures are carried out in accordance with legal regulations.
Regarding customers who have not completed identity verification process, their online transactions will be suspended. In accordance with the government's law, our staff will provide support for those in need.
Nearly 88 million customers have completed biometric verification. The number of bank fraud and scams have decreased by more than 50%.
According to regulations, transfers of over 10 million Vietnam dong will require biometric authentication. As online transactions require customers' biometric data, the rate of banking fraud will certainly decrease.
Starting from July the 1st, 2025, all businesses are required to register for biometrics, particularly for corporate bank accounts. Biometric registration is a must, and commercial banks are willing to provide support for customers in need.
The government has issued Decree 178 on policies for officials, public employees, workers, and the armed forces in the process of restructuring the political system. And after becoming familiar with this policy, many individuals have either decided or considered resigning early to seek new opportunities.
Chin will reach retirement age in 6 years. As a party member who leads by example in supporting the party and state's policies, she plans to retire early.
The policies provide benefits for older workers like myself who wish to retire early. We should consider retiring early so that the state management apparatus can be run by younger, more agile officials who can keep up with the country's development needs. This is a suitable change.
The allowances specified in Decree 178 provide financial support for civil servants and public employees who retire early, enabling them to start small businesses, invest, or ensure their livelihood. Those who retire before the required age within 2 to 10 years will not have their pension rate reduced due to early retirement, receive a subsidy of 5 months' salary for the first 20 years of work with social insurance contributions, and from the 21st year onward, they will receive half a month's salary for each year of service. Depending on the individual, the subsidy amount will vary, ranging from 4 to 5 months' salary for each year of early retirement. For civil servants or public employees who leave their jobs without meeting the conditions for early retirement, they will receive severance benefits suitable for their positions.
According to the new decree, those retiring within the first 12 months from the effective date of the decision to restructure the organization will receive the maximum benefits.
In addition, Decree 178 also includes special policies for civil servants and public employees with a long history of service to acknowledge their contributions.
On Friday afternoon, the Thăng Long Hanoi Heritage Conservation Center, in collaboration with the Institute of Archaeology, announced the results of the 2024 excavation, with many new discoveries about Kính Thiên Main Palace, the heart of Thăng Long Imperial Citadel. Based on the traces of the column foundations, scientists have confirmed with certainty that Kính Thiên Palace has a 9-room structure. Cẩn Chánh Palace, where the king worked every day, is predicted to be located behind the D67 house relic. And for the first time, archaeologists found an underground sewer running across the Dan Chi courtyard area during the early Lê dynasty, around the 15th century. And up to now, about 30% of the total area has been excavated, gradually building a highly authentic base to restore Kính Thiên Main Palace. The Southwest region's development has left behind numerous historical works and cultural architecture that bear the marks of its riverine people. In Cái Bè district of Tiền Giang province lies an ancient village that stands as both a source of local pride and a prominent destination on Vietnam's tourism map, thanks to its ancient houses.
As a daughter-in-law who joined the family in her 20s, Mạnh has been connected to this house for over 50 years. Built in 1850, the house has maintained its elegant beauty for 170 years, blending Asian and European architectural styles while preserving the characteristics of the ancient southern region. This legacy has become a source of pride that her children and grandchildren work to preserve and protect.
Foreigners often ask how much this house is worth and whether it can be given to someone else. But my family firmly says no, because it is very important to us.
Dong Hoa Hiệp Ancient Village was recognized as a national monument by the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism in 2017. The 200-year-old Ông Kiệt house features a traditional three-room design. Its pillars and beams, crafted from precious wood, showcase intricate carvings with patterns and motifs characteristic of Southern Vietnamese culture. Kiet's ancient house received restoration funding from JICA, Japan, and was awarded UNESCO's Asia-Pacific Heritage Award for Cultural Heritage Conservation.
My children and I are still passionate about keeping this house. This house is very beautiful. Why don't we preserve it? We should be proud of it.
Đông Hòa Hiệp Village, along with Đường Lâm and Phước Tích villages, was selected by the Vietnam National Administration of Tourism and JICA for a project promoting sustainable development. This initiative serves as a crucial foundation for heritage preservation in the modern era.
With 28 domestic films screened in 2024, Vietnamese cinema has flourished in both revenue growth and in the diversity of its cinematic language. According to Box Office Vietnam, Vietnamese cinema had a total revenue of nearly $75 million, an increase of 22% compared to the previous year. National culture as well as local identity are considered prominent factors that attract audiences to the box office.
In addition to two privately produced films, Mine, directed by Chun Thang, and Face Off 7, One Wish, directed by Lee Hai, another Vietnamese film that became a box office phenomenon in 2024 was Peach Blossom, Fur and Piano, directed by Phie Tion Cern. Notably, this state-ordered film received special attention from the public.
From 3 screenings a day, we increased to 5, 11, 18, and ultimately 23 screenings a day.
Many other films have also been successful thanks to their deep exploitation of Vietnamese cultural and historical elements. For example, all the costumes in the film Camp closely follow traditional Vietnamese folk culture. The film Spirit Whisker, The Revenant, recreates the setting of Hue in the period when Vietnam was escaping colonial rule.
The filmmakers recreated the setting of Hue carefully, renovating a 150-year-old house with exact Indo-Chinese architecture. Overall, filmmakers invested carefully in setting and costumes. This is an improvement over previous years.
In the art film genre, young directors continue to demonstrate their creativity with award-winning works at prestigious international film festivals. Notable among them are Coo Lee Never Cries by director Pham Ngoc Lan and Don't Cry Butterfly by young female director Jeong Giao Ling. However, there were also films that have not met expectations in terms of revenue and professional quality.
I think the only solution is to try to focus on stories and scripts that can express the identity of the nation. The more clearly the film expresses the identity of the nation, the more durable its vitality will be.
Audiences are increasingly demanding when it comes to enjoying movies. A good plot, clear message, and bringing real emotions will be the main factors that help cinematographic works attract more and more attention from the public.
Coming up next in our world news, Japanese Prime Minister prioritizes cooperation with ASEAN. In California, wildfires damage estimated at $150 billion. Now moving on to our world news, Japanese Prime Minister Ishiba Shigeru said he wanted to place greater importance on relations with Southeast Asia amid uncertainties in the global community. The announcement was made during his 2-day visit to Malaysia. And at their joint press conference, the Japanese leader said one of the utmost priorities for Japan's diplomacy is to deepen ties with Malaysia and other ASEAN members. Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim and his Japanese counterpart agreed to enhance cooperation in addressing regional and international challenges, including tensions in the East Sea, East China Sea, the Middle East, and Myanmar. Japanese Prime Minister Ishiba Shigeru left for Indonesia on Friday after concluding his visit to Malaysia. Germany has recorded the highest number of company insolvencies since 2009 in the last quarter of last year. A study from the Halle Institute for Economic Research showed on Thursday, Germany saw 4,215 company insolvencies, with almost 38,000 jobs affected. The number of insolvencies at the end of last year rose by 36%, higher than it was in the same period of 2023, becoming a great challenge for businesses. Across sectors, the highest growth in insolvencies was in the service sector, growing by 47% year-on-year. Years of extremely low interest rates and government subsidies during the COVID-19 pandemic helped companies avoid bankruptcy. However, the rise in interest rates and the elimination of subsidies have triggered catch-up effects in insolvencies from 2022. Fires burning across California will likely cost an estimated $135 to $150 billion in damage and economic losses, according to updated preliminary figures from private forecaster AccuWeather. The devastating wildfires have resulted in at least 5 deaths and 180,000 evacuations. More than 10,000 structures have been destroyed. California's wildfire crisis is pushing the state's insurance industry to a breaking point, and many companies have stopped providing or renewing insurance in high-risk regions, such as coastal areas and areas prone to wildfires. The problem of canceled policies has forced some homeowners to go without fire insurance or to use a program set up by the state, but without taxpayer support, called the California Fair Plan. And as usual, let's move on to the weather forecast. And that's all the news we have for this hour. To rewatch our program, you can download our mobile app VTVgo or check out our YouTube channel VTV4Go. Thank you for watching and see you next time.